To start, I'm going to give you some family background as well. So I'm one of 7 kids, the eldest. The first 4 were completely intentional. The last 3 are triplets. So there's that. And so my family is big and rowdy and fun and crazy, and I love them a lot, and we do things that are not always appropriate, but are always enjoyable, mostly. So we're on this camping trip. I'm in 8th grade, so I'm 13, 14. My brother's a year younger than me. He's my best friend in the world, always has been. And he and I are really fun and not always intelligent. So that is how we proceed through our lives. So he and I decide, it's like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, we get to this, I'm not telling the story very organizedly. Okay, so we're going camping. I don't know if I said that already. So we're going camping, we're in the Adirondacks. We arrive at our campsite, and the appropriate thing to do is help your dad unpack. So Paul and I grab our canoe and go canoeing. Whatever. So we're out, like I said, it's like 7 or 8 at night when we start. We're just going, never been here before. Just figured we would just be able to tell which random campsite was ours when we were done canoeing. It gets darkish, it's like 8:30, 45. We were like, we should probably turn around. So we seek to turn. We really had intentions to do that. And Paul thought it'd be funny if he jostled the canoe a little bit. You know how that's funny. So he did that. And unsurprisingly, we fell, it total capsized, we fell out, my shoes floated down the stream. It was really dramatic. So I'm sad and angry. And he is unaffected for whatever reason. It's weird, actually. And we're literally in the middle of this body of water, and I'm not interested in swimming. I'm canoeing, not swimming. So I was this is not appropriate. So we eventually paddle to this big boulder thing, drag our massive canoe and our paddles, and we're just heaving, and I'm just sad and angry. I'm dominant emotions at this moment. And Paul's in a different world. He's just Julia, I have a really pressing question. I was okay, I don't really want to talk to you right now, but I guess I'll hear it. He's can I take off my pants? And obvious answer is no. You're my brother. That is gross, and you smell weird, so no. And he wasn't taking over an answer. It escalated. He just took his pants off. He was they're just so wet. It's too. I'm wearing jeans. I'm so upset. I was I hate everything about you. So that happened. So this boulder that we're on, I was not aware of my surroundings. Like I said, it was dark, I was cold, I was sad, it was weird. So I didn't really realize that there was a cottage on this rock. It was blurry. Okay, so Paul, so he's wearing his boxer and his flashy white 12-year-old thighs hanging out. I'm not even speaking to him. I'm just trying to brainstorm. What do we do now? This quaint little family comes around out of the cottage, and they're can we help you? And then they see Paul's leg hair, and they're oh, you're busy. And they literally plugging out. But I was oh my god, gross. So I was no, it's not like that. I didn't even know. It's weird. I don't know how I got here. So they left. They were bored and walked back into their little rock cottage thing. So Paul and I are still on this boulder in worse situations we've been in before. So I was okay, our only option literally is to go back. There's really just nothing else to be done at this point. I want to die on this rock. So we eventually maneuver the canoe back into the water. We get in it. His pants are still off. I want to highlight that. They're still not on his body. So we are paddling. It's pitch black. It's probably 10 o'clock by this point. And we see this lone light coming through the water. And as it gets closer, we hear these people calling our names. And I was am I breathing? So they're Julia, Paul, and I was yeah. And they were hey, your mom sent us. I was they hitched our canoe to their little motorboat and pulled us back to our campsite. My mother is standing on the shore, waving 2 lanterns in each hand, yelling our names. So that was funny. So we get there, you know, she like runs down, she's like half yelling, half crying, half, I don't even know what was going on. So we, you know, she has us like pull the canoe up through the land back to our campsite. And of course, she couldn't have just let us go onto the campsite. We had to go through like the 3 campsites leading to ours. And Paul, by this point, understands the inappropriateness of his lack of pants. And he's like, "No, I'm not." She's like, "Shut up." She was like, "Never speak to me again." So, he, like I mentioned, is like just rocking it. And so we go through like all the campsites. Like luckily the first 2, there was like no one else. It wasn't a big deal. But the last one is like these cute little like 5-year-old twin girls that are like having like their first s'more probably, and just like, you know, elatedly singing about their camping life and just like having a good time. Silence. Like Paul walks by and they're like, we just stared at him, and then I'm sure that there was wailing and gnashing of teeth after we walked out. But so that happened. We go back to our campsite. The entire family had decided that we were not allowed to eat dinner. So they literally gave us a Triscuit each, and we're like, never speak to us ever in your lives. And to cap it all off, this is the last thing I'll tell you. That night, as one of my younger sisters was getting ready for bed, she went in the camper to like brush her teeth and went over to her side to get into her bed, and the thing tipped over because the one job my dad had given me was to put down the supports.